regard to exhaust emissions. So industrial waste is also one of the largest contributors to the global pollution problem that endangers people and the environment. So what is the meaning of the term industrial pollution? You are right, Sushmita. There is an industrial waste problem which is one of the major of its kind in industrial pollution. The waste from industries which are directly dumped into surrounding water bodies and open lands causes various types of pollution: air, water, land, soil, etc. All this is put under industrial pollution. Industrial pollution is one of the largest contributor to the global pollution problem, endangering people, their health, and the overall environment. So now we understand that any form of pollution that can trace chemicals in the waste discharges are the major class of pollutants. The worst polluting industries are the recycling of lead batteries, the lead industry, mines, tanneries, industrial discharges, industrial sites also, gold mining, manufacturers, petro industry, dry cleaners, electroblading, and the list is very long. You're right, Dr. Diksha. Color, for example, is the main attraction of any fabric. Dyeing has become a massive industry today. In fact, this art of applying color to the fabric has been known to mankind since 3500 BC. So W.H. Perkins, I read, in 1856, discovered the use of synthetic dyes, and these have provided a wide range of all forms of life, and also it's a cause of concern for the environmentalists. How do industries basically pollute the environment? The industries pollute the environment in myriad ways. For example, right from the procurement of the raw material, whether the raw material is coming from the forest or the soil or whatever be the source, to the procurement of that substance, finally the processing, the distribution, and at the end, when that particular product or the good, whatever it is manufactured, when it is in use, that also involves environmental degradation. For example, take the case of an automobile manufacturing industry. Now every stage of it involves disturbance in nature setting. For example, when the car or bus or the scooter is run, it also consumes the fossil fuels and emits harmful gases. So right from the manufacture of that particular product to the processing which takes place in the factories and industries, the distribution of that product, that also involves the packaging and the other things. And finally, when it is ready to use, when it comes into the market and when it consumes the fossil fuels, takes something from the nature, emits harmful gases, that also is a cause of worry. So that will all come under the industries and their impact on pollution and other aspects of the environment. The pollution, major water polluting industries are leather, pulp and paper, textiles, and chemicals. Various types of chemicals are used in modern agriculture, such as fertilizers, pesticides, etc., which cause water pollution. Because when these are applied in fields and they are washed down to the rivers, they cause a damage to the aquatic flora and fauna also. There is a very interesting case of a Minamata disease. Minamata is a place in Japan. Mercury metal, it was released from a chemical unit and it went on accumulating along the food chain. And in each trophic level, the amount of metal within the individuals was found to be higher. That is an example of biomagnification. So when humans consume such contaminated fishes, they also become contaminated and severe nervous system injuries may result from it. The main source of mercury pollution are gold mining and the use of substances derived from it, industry, agriculture, etc. So not only is the case of mercury, there are other heavy metals also. For example, lead, cadmium, etc. These are also released from the chemical units. They are also being washed out. They are just emitted into the nearby water sources unknowingly without having a look at what damage it can cause to the aquatic flora, fauna, and in turn, when human beings are consuming such contaminated water, it may lead to severe health effects on them. That was really very informative. The colloidal matter present with the industrial waste and even the oil or the oily scum that is released increases the turbidity and gives the water a bad appearance and also a foul smell. So that's why when we pass near the industries, sometimes we get this very bad smell. And this also prevents the penetration of sunlight, actually, which is very important for the sun life. Further, this effluence can also clog the pores of the soil. The texture of the soil can get hardened, and the penetration of the root problem that globally seen today. It's a very serious issue. What are the main types of waste? When the industry deals with something organic, mostly the organic waste will come out because the nature of the industries is different, and accordingly, the nature of the industrial waste is also different. So we have organic waste, recyclable waste, non-recyclable waste, and the toxic waste. Now, organic waste is easily reabsorbed by nature, but it should be put into something useful. It can be converted into manure. Recyclable waste is something which is composed of waste materials, but it can be reprocessed and used again by some interference by human beings, some methods, some innovative measures by human beings. But the problem with recyclable waste is formed of waste materials that technology cannot get recycled. And the most importantly is the nuclear toxic waste. It is made up of materials that release invisible dangerous radiations and that remain in the environment for several thousand years. Dr. Diksha, how can we control industrial pollution? Industrial plants should be set up in distant places away from the residential areas. And industries need to check up preventive measures to take pollution. So, whatever be the kind of industry, it pollution production at their plants. Usage of local products, usage of local technology, so that the processes of the raw material transfer, the environmentally friendly operating processes. So, can industrial growth and environment protection go hand in hand? Industrial growth and environment protection can go hand in hand because sustainable industrial growth will lead to economic growth in long run. The rapid growth of industrialization leads to improvements in living standards of the people. The increase in population leads to exponential consumption of resources. These resources become scarce as demand has surpassed its availability. So pollution avoidance is less costly than pollution control. So environmental regulation should be enforced. And ultimately, we should remember that it doesn't need to have green versus growth, but it has to be green plus growth. Thank you, Dr. Diksha. Dear learners, we have seen that industries and factories give off various pollutants into the environment, and it is estimated that about 50% of all the pollution is due to industrial activities. As we have seen, toxic gases are released into the atmosphere. The liquids could be discharged into the water. Pesticides, pharmaceutical industries, the sugar, textile industry, thermal power plants, tanneries, etc. So illnesses and destruction of the ecosystem are some of the pollution outcomes that take years to manifest. Better technology for waste disposal, organic methods for waste treatment,